this story that I found very inspiring of Krishna and Arjuna. And this story is shared in India. I'm not sure how often. But one day, Krishna and Arjuna went off for a walk through Krishna's kingdom. And they arrived at this king's palace. And this king had beautiful gardens, this beautiful palace, very wealthy. And they arrived at this king's palace, and the king was very upset because he was raging war with his neighbors, because he was telling Krishna, Krishna, I need more land. I want more land because I want to build more palaces and more gardens. And what is this that my neighbor is not going to allow me 10 more feet on his land? Doesn't he know I'm trying to build a palace here? And Krishna and Arjuna spent some time with this king. And after departing, Arjuna told Krishna, Krishna, this guy needs a lesson. I mean, he's surely not happy, and he's so greedy. Look at all the wealth he already has. And, I mean, what can you do to help him? And so Krishna says, yes, I care very much for my devotees. I will be sure to help him. And so, pleased with that answer, they continue on their journey. And they arrive then at they see in the distance this little hut with this hermit who lives inside of it. And the hermit, very joyful, welcoming Krishna and Arjuna into this little, very simple, humble yurt. And so as they go inside, they notice this hermit is very happy. And he has very few items. He has some plates, some cups, some loincloth, and a cow. And so they very much enjoyed their time with this hermit, and full of joy of welcoming Krishna and Arjuna into his home. He fed them, and he was very proud. He fed them, the milk from the cow and some food produced from the cow. And they had a very nice time. And after they left, they departed. They blessed the hermit. And on their way out, Arjuna was thinking, gosh, if, Krishna is going to help this king by helping his situation, I just wonder what Krishna is going to do for this hermit who is very joyful, very devoted to Krishna, and he has only a couple of items in this cow. And so he asked Krishna, he said, Krishna, certainly if you're going to be helping this king, will you also help this hermit? And Krishna replied, yes, of course. I care very much for all my devotees. I surely am going to help this hermit. So Arjuna asked the question, what are you going to do? And so his answer was that, well, for the king, I'm going to give him more. I'm going to give him more palaces. I'm going to give him more land. And he kept going on in that way. And Arjuna thought, he knew Krishna was a great saint, but that doesn't make sense to me, Krishna. But he continued onward with that, and Arjuna didn't question that further. So inwardly, Arjuna thought, gosh, I can't wait to hear what he's going to do for this hermit who has nothing. And so Krishna says, for the hermit, what I'm going to do for him is I'm going to kill his cow. And Arjuna thought, Krishna, this doesn't make any sense to me. Please tell me more. And he said, well, you see, for the king, he has everything. And he's always going to want more and more and more. And I'm going to give him more and more and more until he realizes that and arrives in his own understanding that he'll get to that place where no matter how much he attains in this life, it can never make him happy. Only I, his Lord, can fulfill that desire and that need. And for the hermit, being a great humble soul as he is, the only thing that stands before him and me is his cow, because he seeks his need from this cow. And as soon as I take the cow from me, he will speedily come to me because he will need me. And when he then comes to me, he will go into ecstasy. And so for all of us, in our life, what is God trying to do with us? What is our Guru trying to do to help us? Because the difference here is God, the Guru, only sees one thing. of what our next step is, of what we need to do in our life to free ourselves from this delusion. And they will be in constant state, there will be in a constant state of love, of understanding, but also just like a parent, they will also keep guiding us forward and giving us what we need. So the more we see and we accept that which is given to us in the eyes of God to know, especially for our hearts that wants only God, God's going to respond to that call, and he's going to bring us what we need. But we also have to be ready to accept that and know and have that trust, and try not to doubt that anything and everything in your life is all being created by the hand of God.